First thing I want to talk about is the place value of our whole numbers. In the GED, you're going to be required to round to certain places, and so it's really important that you know your place values. A lot of people struggle to remember this, so the important thing to remember is that we go in groups of threes. So I'm going to start from the right-hand side and move left when I talk about place value. Really important that you do the same thing. Okay, so the first three numbers are a group known collectively as the units. The units. And looking at each one individually, you probably know and are familiar with this number here on the right. That place is known as the ones place. The ones place. Okay, it's the first of the units place. So, for example, if I have a 2 here, that's as if I had two $1 bills. For those of y'all who'd rather talk about money. Now, coming to this next place, the place after the ones place, we have the tens. So, we have the ones, we have the tens. This is like I have one $10 bill here. Now this 0 here, this is in the hundreds place. A lot of this, for a lot of y'all, this is review. You say, I know this is the easy part of the place value system. It's down there that I start forgetting about. So if you can remember this basic idea, ones, tens, hundreds, you're going to be able to know all your other place values, because math is all about patterns. And just like in other areas of math, this is a pattern that's going to repeat. This 1, tens, hundreds pattern is going to repeat. As long as you realize that this comma right here, and we go 1, 2, 3 with numbers, and then we place a comma. This comma right here is sections the beginning of the thousands section. The next three numbers are all types of thousands, and we're going to see a repeat of our pattern. Just like we saw ones, tens, and hundreds in the units, we're going to see 1, and I put it in parentheses because not everybody says the 1, but we have the 1,000s. And then next we're going to see the 10,000s. I hope my sideways writing isn't messing with anybody. And then we have the 100,000s. And we see that pattern of 1, 10, 100 repeated. And it's going to keep getting repeated. Okay. So, ones, tens, and hundreds in the units. Ones, tens, and hundreds in the thousands. And then we get a new comma. And this new comma is going to signal us that we're starting a new group of 3, and after the thousands comes all the millions. The millions. This is the money we wish we would win in the lottery. There you go. Here's our millions. And you probably guessed it already. How's our millions going to go? We're going to have 1 millions. And then not surprisingly, after ones come 10 millions. And look at that, the pattern continues. We see the 100 millions. Excellent. So after the units, the 3 units places, the 3,000s places, and the 3 millions places become 2 my favorite. Now we're out of the lottery and we're into Bill Gates' world. We got the billions here. But once again, our pattern continues. We have 1 billions, 10 billions, and 100 billions. Now, a lot of you are panicking already. You're thinking, Kate, this is way too much information. I can't even handle. And I'll just let you know that the GED test generally only contains numbers up to the millions. So we're really just going to be worried about this red, orange, and green section here. Just want you to know that this pattern does continue onto the billions, the trillions, the quadrillions, and it goes actually past that. But as far as our test is concerned, this is the region that we're going to be in. Okay, So let's look at how we can apply this information. One of the types of problems that you're going to see in Chapter 1, Exercise 1 is the type that says how many digits does a number have? And this is a relatively simple problem to answer. The key is knowing what the word digit means. So a digit is each individual number within a number. That might sound a little confusing, but I'll clear it right up for you as we look at these example problems right here. So if I look at this number, this is the number 235. To answer the question how many digits it is, I'm just going to count. So we have 1, 2, 3. This is a 3-digit number, and that is my answer to that question. It's 3. Excellent. So similarly, 17, real easy. We just go 1, 2, and that's a 2-digit number. Then I gave you a nice long challenge one just to put you in a panic. I got 60,552. And how many digits is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5-digit number. Pretty simple, and you'll see some practice for that on Quizlet. Another problem type that you're going to see in Chapter 1, Exercise 1, are problems that ask you to underline digits in certain places. And so I've started with a problem here that says underline the digit in the ones place. Now this is going back to what we just learned when we talked about the different place values of the number. The important thing to remember again is that we have to start on the right and go left, and that's going to be counterintuitive to us. So when we start naming the places, starting on the right hand side, the very first place is the ones, if you recall. And so what digit is in the ones place? It's the digit 6. If you were doing this on Quizlet, it wouldn't say underline, it would say what digit is in the ones place. What digit is in the ones place? And you would just answer 6 and press enter. Now looking at the number 2056, again the ones place is the first one on the right. So the number 6, again, is in our ones place. Apparently I like the number 6. And I erase this one because this one ends in 6 too. Let's have a 4. Okay, so in my number 32,834, what number is in the ones place? That's the number 4. Wonderful. Now I want to make you aware of this trick. We don't actually see this in section 1.1, but other places in the book, you're going to see them use an alternate word. So it says underline the digit in the units place. And yes, we learned that the units place refers to the first 3, but if I just say in the units place, singular, I'm talking about the ones again. This is another way to say ones. So this problem is done the exact same way. In the ones place here, we have a 6, also called the units place. In the units place here, we have a 6. And make this a 4 again. In the units place here, we have a 4. Pretty simple, right? Another one we see in Chapter 1, Section 1 is what digit is in the tens place. And we're going to answer this the same way, moving right to left. This is the ones place, and the next one is the tens place. And so what digit is in the tens place? That's the 5. Same thing here. We're asked what digit is in the hundreds place. Again, we start on the right-hand side. Ones, tens, and here's our hundreds. That's the digit 3. Here's some more examples of that same type of problem from Chapter 1, Section 1. This one says what digit is in the tens place. And we have the number 6,853. So we start again on the right-hand side. First guy's the 1 place, and if you remember, next one is the tens place. So there we go. What digit is in the tens place? That's the number 5. Okay, getting a little larger here. I'm asked what digit is in the hundreds place. And here we have a nice long number, 24,362. Again, we're going to start from the right. We have the ones, we have the tens, and then finally we have the hundreds. And so what digit is in our hundreds place? That's the digit 3. So we come over here and we'll look at some larger numbers. This question asks what digit is in the thousands place, and I've got the number 8,562. You may remember that the thousands start after the comma, but we'll still start from the right and count back. So we can remember we have the ones, the tens, the hundreds, and finally the thousands. And so what digit is in our thousands place? That's the digit 8. Again, similarly, we have a problem that says what digit is in the tens thousands place. And I'm going to start from the back here. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and finally we have our 10,000s. So the answer is the digit 6. Okay, I think you guys are catching on to this. Not too hard, but we will do the larger numbers since those kind of panic some people. So let's take a look. We're asked what digit is in the hundred thousands place here. And so again, it's a giant number, isn't it? So some people are going to struggle to read this. So I'm going to block this off here. This is 7, and if you remember that second comma is the millions comma. So we have 7,853,000, and there's our thousands comma, 853,695. That's how we say that. So let's find that hundred thousands place using our method from the right. Ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s, also known as the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Excellent. So what digit's in our 100,000s place? The digit 8. Okay, final question. Largest number you're going to be asked to place to, most likely on the GED, is the millions place. So, great big number. Again, we see it's 68 million. 432,000, that's how I read that comma, 854. And for those of you who caught right on, yes, the millions place is next to the millions comma, but let's go ahead and count back to make sure our system always works. We have ones, tens, hundreds, the 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s, and finally the 1 millions, also just known as the millions place. So what digit is in our millions? That's the digit 8. Another type of problem that you're going to see in this exercise is one that asks in what place is the digit 3 in the number. And this problem is done similarly to the last. What's going to look a little different is the way we're going to answer the question. And so we've been asked here, in what place is the digit 3 in the number 4,325? And as you guys know, this is the hundreds. I just messed it up. Let's try again. How about the math teacher does the math right? This is the ones place. We have the tens place. And finally, here's the hundreds place. And so the question, in what place is the digit 3 in the number, should be answered with the word hundreds. And what place is it in? It's in the hundreds place. And this is one time where typing the number 100 would not be appropriate. So, sorry, y'all are going to have to learn to spell a little bit, but we're going to type hundreds for that question there. So, similarly, I've got another example of that type of a problem. We have in what place is the digit 8 in the number 386,405. So counting back, we've got the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and there's our number in the 10,000s place. So when you're talking about places that have more than one word in it, you should go ahead and put in the dash. This is the 10,000s place. I'm talking about the place value, not the value of the number itself. So I do use that dash. If you forget it, no big deal. You can say I was right. But that is formally how we do that. Here we have the final type of problem you are going to see in Chapter 1, Section 1. It's very similar to the last problem, but they changed one little word, which is going to change how we answer the question. Now they are saying to us, what is the value of the digit 7 in the number? The value of the digit. And this is the number 85,672. They're asking me, how much is this 7 worth? What's its value? Now its value is based on what place it's in, and we know what place it's in. Again, starting from the right, this was our ones place, and this was our 10. So what we have here is we have 7 tens. Now if you think about it, if you had 7 $10 bills, what would you have? Well, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, I would have $70. And so what is the value of the digit 7 in the number? It's worth 70. Now, you might see in Quizlet, if you go to answer this question, and you type in 70, you might get marked wrong. I think the way that I have the answers in there, they're spelled out, 70. But don't give yourself a panic attack. Whether you enter in the number 70 or the word 70, you're saying the same thing. So notice, if it marks you wrong, there's a little override button. It says override. I was right. Go ahead and click that so Quizlet doesn't think you're wrong. You and I know you were right no matter which version you typed in there. Okay, so looking at another problem. What is the value of the digit 5 in the number 25,364? Well, here's 5, and he's in the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands place. So what's his value? Well, that's real easy. He's worth 5,000. Or if I were going to write that out, I would write 5, no dash, I don't know why I put a dash, 1,000. Excellent. So let's look at a larger number here. What is the value of the digit 2? I said that was a larger number. I lied to all y'all. That's not larger. So what is the value of the digit 2 in the number 6,302? This one isn't a large one, but it does confuse a lot of people. Because they look back there, they say, well, what's the value of 2 ones? Well, if you had 2 $1 bills, what would you have? You'd just have $2. So what's that worth? It's just worth 2. You want to spell out 2? I'll do it for you. Look at that. 2. Pretty simple. Don't get tricked by the easy ones. Okay, and finally we have what is the value of the digit 9 in the number 59,434,204. So what place are we in here? You guys probably already caught on, but let's count. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. So that guy is in the millions place, so his value is 9 million. Or in words, 9 million. Pretty simple, nothing too hard yet, but this is going to make a building block for everything we're going to do later. Just like a teacher, I've got homework for you. You're not going to remember anything that I just talked about. Now it's time for you to practice. You got 2 different ways you can practice. We have the McGraw-Hill math book that we talked about in the introduction video. Chapter 1, exercise 1 has some practice problems for you. And then in the Quizlet class that you can sign up for, again, it's called Kate's GED Math Class. And for instructions on how to sign up for that class online at www.quizlet.com, if you're not sure how to go about that, again, you can check our introduction video. But for today, just go ahead and sign into that, and in your search bar, start typing 1.1 number, values, and facts, that should pop right up. You can click on that, and I've got lots of practice for you to try the concepts that we did today.